Hello and welcome everybody to the Join Dota League Season number 3, the American Division 2. It's going to be a 2-game series between NFT, No Fear Dota versus Maruchan. And it looks like we're having some game bugs that we can't actually load into the game. Everybody's loaded in, yet the game isn't starting. But we are HeflaTV, of course. My name is Coucher and I am joined by Whiplash.
Hello once again, Coucher. I finally get to cast some North American Dota. I'm from North America, of course, so it's kind of weird that I don't cast much of it, but I'm happy that I actually get to do this. We'll see if we actually end up remaking this game, though it probably will end up happening, considering that we've been on the 146 countdown for about a minute now, so yeah, we're just going to be zooming into a random part of the map, but a little bit of a mistake or a technical issue, and I guess we'll get back into things afterward.
Yeah, I've actually never gotten this spot before.
Whoa! Someone paused it somehow.
What?
What the heck is going on? This is quite odd. Someone's been able to pause the game before it even got into like the captain's mode pick and ban phase. Okay.
That is some real next level stuff, man.
That is next level. Yeah, but No Fear Dota, I believe I've casted them once before with you, Couchers, so that name does look familiar to me, but Maruchan, not so much.
I know I've seen Maruchan before as well. If I'm not mistaken, they might have even been in the Division 1 in the previous season. But I'm not too sure about that. I just seen that name before. And actually, can you lower the microphone volume?
Absolutely.
But anyway, I mean, I really haven't been casting too much of those either. Maybe like one set of each. So really not too much information for me to go by. But Lycan is the ban from Maruchan, Doombringer and Tidehunter taken out by No Fear Dota. So at least the bans so far are just completely standard.
Yeah, absolutely. Is the mic better, Couch? Or apparently I did turn it down and then it decided to go all the way back up. Gotta keep an eye on Dota, man. It will reset the sound settings you put into your computer.
Indeed it will, but I think it's fine now. Oh, actually you can lower it a little bit more, I'm getting some echo through still.
Alright, I'll go ahead and do that. And then with that out of the way, we can actually talk about the game.
Indeed. I mean, it's not like we have too much progression in the draft at the moment anyway. Maruchan actually banned out the Razor as the secondary ban. So, Brewmaster, Shadow Shaman, maybe Skywrath Mage, even Faceless Void, of course. Probably the most popular heroes that are prone to getting picked up in the early phases.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Tinker, okay. That's a first pick from No Fear Dota. I suppose Tinker is a hero that if you have someone on your team that runs him, he's a pain in the butt to deal with at times. But we'll go ahead and see Maruchan. They immediately pick up the Brewmaster and Skywrath Mage back to back. So they're very confident picking up those heroes that are just really prominent in the current meta. Brewmaster, of course, an excellent team fighter. Skywrath Mage is so powerful in the laning stage, and you know the long-range silence is extremely useful, and Mystic Flare's DPS is nothing to scoff at as well. So I'm liking the pickups from Maruchan so far. I think they're pretty solid, but this does leave No Fear the ability to pick up the Faceless Void if they still want. Instead, they just pick up the Shadow Shaman, another very powerful hero in the meta, and I'm okay with it as well.
It's definitely a bad hero. I was kind of expecting the Faceless Void to come out though as well. It's just so good against the Brewmaster, just lock him down before he even gets the Primal Split off. And of course Chronosphere with the Tinker, March of the Machines, lasers, heat-seeking missiles. Just the potential of that combination is so sick in itself already, but I guess Shadow Shaman might be a little bit more stable of a pickup. Faceless Void is kind of hit or miss. Especially if it's in the offlane, if it just doesn't get anything accomplished. Yes, he still has the Chronosphere, but if that misses or maybe he doesn't get it out at all, it's just suddenly a dead hero, and even if he gets the Chrono, he himself just won't have too much damage to input since he usually doesn't get too many damaging items.
Yeah, I found that the most successful offlane Faceless Voids are the ones that end up getting some farm, like they don't get completely shut down in their tri-lane, so to speak. Because as long as they get like some farm, they don't need to be like a position 1 farmer to still like eventually get out a Mask of Madness or like an Agnum Scepter, because once you get the Agnum Scepter online, that's what I generally notice the offlane Faceless Voids will prioritize as one of their big core item pickups. You basically have Chronosphere every team fight, and it's absolutely devastating once you get that picked up. So if you can get a little bit of farm, you'll get that at a reasonable time, and you're all good to go. But if you're just shut down, then yeah, you don't end up really accomplishing too much in the offlane with the Faceless Void. But we'll also see No Fear. They've banned out the Invoker, a hero that we've seen, I would say, a lot less of in the current meta. He's definitely kind of fallen out of favor, at least in the Southeast Asian scene, from what I've noticed. But if that's a hero that Maruchan like to run, certainly someone to respect.
Yeah, I mean, Invoker definitely has fallen off. But like you said, some people just still utilize it so damn well. And actually, I think there's still a tiny bit of echo, I think. So, the stuff is awesome. But Maruchan, they actually banned out the Pagna themselves, although a Pagna usually counters the Tinker so heavily. Of course, Skyroth Mage doesn't really want to go pop his Mystic Flare when the Pagna Nether Ward is active. But Maruchan picking up the first counter, or at least the semi-counter of sorts to the Tinker, the Clockwork, who can just spot him out with the Rocket Flare, then hookshot into him and stop the TP from going out with the Battery Assault. And do you think we're maybe even going to see a Spectre as well on top of it?
Ooh, Spectre may even be a little bit of overkill, but Spectre has been kind of one of the heroes that can deal with Tinker pretty damn efficiently. Just using that ultimate, if you get a Radiance on Spectre, very powerful to essentially disable the Tinker. But I did turn down my microphone volume a little bit more, Couchers, so I hope it's acceptable now. It's tolerable for the viewers.
I think so, at least. I myself can't hear myself anymore. It was so slight to begin with, after you changed it the first time. But just to be on the safe side, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, they should still hear you just about the same, because your microphone level didn't change at all. I mean, in a way that I hear you.
Okay. So just kind of slowing down that echo a little bit.
Indeed, and well, looking... I love the Disruptor ban, though, I have to say, from Maruchan, because Disruptor does counter the Brewmaster quite heavily, so... And you can even, of course, glimpse back the Clockwork once he comes in, so the Tinker would still be safe, even though the Cogs would probably be around him. Of course, Clockwork and Skyroth Mage combination. Just power cog somebody up, Mystic Flare on top of their head, and should be easy kill.
Yeah, that's true. I like that Maruchan, they have a lot of synergy with their heroes. The Skyroth is, I feel like a decent counter to the Brewmaster. If you get that Ancient Seal off before he gets the Primal Split, then you're kind of screwed as a Brewmaster. And he also synergizes quite well with the Clockwork. They're going to be good against the Tinker, like we mentioned before, Couchor. So all around, I feel like their drafting has been extremely smart so far. But go ahead and pick up the Wraith King, and that's just adding another tanky member to their lineup, which also very prevalent in the current meta. So I do like the Wraith King pick. We could see it in either support or carry role. It's not 100% sure yet, but it really could go either way right now.
Yeah, it's actually really common to just run the support duo of Wraith King and Skyroth Mage. The Wraithfire Blast itself already is just ample setup for the Mystic Flare, of course, if the Skyroth Mage has hit that magical level 6 mark. But even before that, just getting the slow from the concussive shot allows Wraith King to get close enough for the Wraithfire Blast usually. And just go from there, Brewmaster coming in with a Thunderclap if they're ganking mid lane, for example. But like you said, it can still be a carry one as well. It definitely wouldn't be something I would mind too much, especially up against a Tinker. But now as Viper comes out, well, actually, I hate Wraith King carry against Viper, so no fear Dota. They kind of maybe ruled that option out now.
Yeah, they definitely did. One of the biggest problems of Wraith King, if you're running him in like a carry position, is that he's kind of slow. He doesn't have a lot of mobility. It's very easy to kite him around, and the Viper's ultimate, Viper's Strike, it actually goes through Black King bars. So that means you're still going to be slowed down, even if you get all the magic resist on your end. So I do like the Viper pickup. We'll probably see Wraith King end up in that support role now. But if they still want to run it in a carry role, then they got their work cut out for them. They have to account for all the mobility. And that's not even including Centaur's Ultimate Stampede. That would make it even more difficult for Wraith King to really maneuver around and to actually right-click some of these people in the battlefield. So hopefully we'll see him in that support role. Maruchan, they're down to their last pick. And I guess fingers crossed for a carry and then support Wraith King.
Yes, indeed. So Maruchan, last pick about to come out. I guess still the Spectre is an option, but it just comes down to whether Maruchan believes in their ability to shut down the Tinker with the Clockwork and just the Scarlet Mage combination maybe. Or if they feel like they need more just to be on the safe side, they can go for it. And I guess if they really wanted to, they could even go for a Storm Spirit, go for like that early mid-game kind of lineup. But no, they go for a Weaver instead. And to be honest, this Weaver, I'm afraid he might become fodder. I mean, Centaur gets the Blink Hoof Stomp, suddenly he's dead to the double edge. Shadow Shaman, Hex, Shackles, and Tinker with that extra burst damage. So this Weaver, it's just so crucial that he actually get that early farm. And I'm afraid that he just might 100% have to rush a BKB here.
Yeah, I would be really surprised if we didn't see a BKB on this Weaver. Just looking at the opposition, you'll probably want both the Linking Sphere as well as the Black King Var. We did see that happen the other day where there was a Weaver that just went super defensive, and he ended up getting his DPS items later on and still worked quite fine against the enemy team. But this, yeah, it confirms Wraith King will be support. I suppose this is a mid Brewmaster, Clockwork in the off lane, most likely just a standard tri-lane top. They could even do an offensive tri-lane, actually. Weaver definitely good in that position, along with Skywrath as well as Wraith King, and No Fear Dota picking up the Abaddon, so a little bit of a curveball here at the end. Looks like it will be a support Abaddon this time around. You know, coupling with the Shadow Shaman, with the Viper, Centaur, and Tinker all being core roles. So, looking at the lineups, Coucher, what are you thinking, man?
I actually think No Fear Dota definitely has the better of it. I mean, Tinker for the late game, of course. They have the initiation coming in from the Centaur. Probably Shadow Shaman gonna get the Blink as well at some point in time. And it's just Maruchan, they have to execute their lineup way better than No Fear does for it to actually make sense, I think. And with the Abaddon pickup, I do believe they might be running even dual lanes, like Centaur Abaddon off lane, with Viper, Shadow Shaman safe lane, Tinker mid, something like that. Because Viper, he can easily even solo against Clockwork, so Shadow Shaman can just freely pull as well as rotate around for maybe kills on other lanes.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring up. I still, I do like MC's lineup a little bit more. I just feel like there's, they're looking good. They're both teams are strong, but I am favoring them a little bit more, and I would expect them to do some type of offensive tri-lane here. It feels like they could take advantage of their opponent's lineup, or at least force them into a bit of an awkward situation. The dual lane between the Abaddon and the Centaur, like you mentioned, could actually be pretty powerful, though. But if they can kind of dodge that and just do the offensive tri-lane and shut down this enemy carry, then, well, who knows, man? Could end up going really well for them.
It definitely could. I think just Maruchan, their lineup is more execution heavy, just getting the early level 6s, the Brewmaster, the early blink on him as well, probably. Just to get that initiation aspect. Of course, Clockwork, if he's just on target with his hookshots, can create so much havoc in team fights. The power cogs, of course, just completely wrecking a team fights as well. So, yeah, we'll see. Just like most games with Dota, though, they always come down to execution. Lineup wise, there's really no clear advantage. Of course, a lot will also come down to Maruchan. Will they emphasize on ganking the Tinker, for example, to just prevent those boost of trials from coming out early?
I hope so, man. That seems to be one of the better ways to kind of deal with Tinker. He will eventually find his farm. There will be stacks for him later on in the game, but the longer you delay those boots, you know, the longer you kind of keep the enemy team essentially from being like a 4v5 team, and a team that can't really push too much across the map and just have that annoying global presence, which I guess would be a good reason why they could have picked up that Spectre as the final pick over the Weaver. But the Weaver, I feel, will give them a little bit more lane presence earlier on and a little bit more aggression in the earlier stages. So, still overall, I really like Weaver as a carry. So I don't really fault them for that pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good against Viper, of course, as well, because he doesn't care at all about the slows. Yes, the damage will still be there, but Sukuchi away and no problems at all. So in that sense, the Weaver is kind of, at least works as kind of a counter to the Viper, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, we are still paused here, but why don't we go ahead and introduce these Team Couchshore. I'm going to start with No Fear Dota, since, okay, looks like we are resuming as well. But over here on the supportive Abaddon, we have 9-6, something like that. I don't even know if I can really pronounce that, but or maybe it's 90-06. And then over on the Shadow Shaman, we have Ass Clown. He can't change his name. I'm calling him Ass Clown. He's got to deal with it. Over in the mid lane, we got the Tinker, Maple, Maple, Maple. And then handling the off lane Centaur will be Arf. And finally, position 1 Viper, going down to the safe lane, it will be Mago.
Yes, and for Maruchan up on the dire side, M3 will be playing the Skyrift Mage, leaving Stilo to play the Weaver as the last one on this tri-lane will be Cut Sharp on the Wraith King. Mid lane taken up by G on the Brewmaster, and Lice is going to play the Clockwork. And man, G, we already have a G in Dota, the Russian one, god. Some name stealing going on, man.
That's true. Notice that Maruchan, they're already warding the enemy ancient camp. They don't want Tinker to get early stacks, easy stacks early on, so he can just farm those up with the Marching Machines and get his boots and levels up a little bit faster. So just, little plays here and there that kind of prevent the other team from getting ahead, and I like that. It's a similar, I guess, tactic to just warding the enemy jungle if they pick a hero that will be in the jungle, like an Enigma or so.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, although actually I would have preferred if one of the supports placed down that ward while rotating a little bit later on, because the sentry ward, it lasts for 4 minutes, so actually Tinker, from the 4th minute, he can actually start stacking it once again, so by the 7th minute mark, if he goes there every single time, it's potentially a quad stack already, and he can still farm out the boots of traps, because usually the timing is around 9 minutes when you get it, the boots that is, so...
No.
They could have done it maybe a little bit better, but still, it's really important to stop that stack from going on in the first place.
And as far as lanes are concerned, looks like it'll just be a standard tri-lane in the respective lanes, normal for Dire and Radiant. And I suppose that if they do just a standard tri-lane up top, that will give Maruchan a lot of ability to do like smoke ganks onto the mid lane and really control this Tinker, which I expect to be a pretty big, concern for them, something they want to accomplish. Weaver, he'll be okay if he's left alone in the earlier stages against the Centaur. He's still a ranged hero, and he has a lot of mobility and a good amount of ways to really zone out the Centaur.
Yeah, actually the concussion shot came out from M3 as well, but the return, man, it's so annoying for Skyrift Mage. Especially since the Skyrift Mage's damage is only 44. So, with the Stout Shield from the Centaur, he's really probably just taking as much damage as the Skyrift himself.
Yeah, that's true. That's a lot of times why people will put that early point into return. And looking over at the bottom lane, I don't think this Clockwork's really going to be having a good time. He'll get experience here and there. He's about to hit level 2, so that's good at least, but I guess both lanes are going to just be especially difficult for the off laners due to the fact that both teams, they are running a ranged support hero, but Centaur is putting up a ward at the Dire heavy camp here, so I do like that, just to prevent this from respawning.
Yeah, it's definitely not too bad, because there's only so much you can actually utilize the small camp to pull before it just wires down to a solo camp. You can't stack it up all the time, so you have to rely on the double pull through, but they can only do that about once now as well with this ward going down. But we have another pause, Viper disconnected. Good times. Good times.
Good times indeed. But I'm sure everyone will be back in a second. Looking at this mid lane, I suppose Brewmaster, he'll just be doing his thing. I believe, yeah, he's got his bottle being sent to him on the courier. He's got the Azumir courier, actually, from a Korean tournament that happened last year. So I like that courier that he's got chilling over there. I'm waiting for the smoke ganks to happen. I feel like once this Skywrath and Wraith King maybe get another level or 2 under their belts, they'll just smoke the mid and try to shut down this Tinker. I think that's probably the most important thing for Maruchan to do in the earlier stages. They can zone out the Centaur a little bit. He's still only level 1, but the Weaver's not going to have his farm interrupted too much if there's no support to help him out, I feel.
Yeah, this Weaver should be just fine. Like we already mentioned earlier as well, just up against the Centaur, having the Sukuchi, having the range advantage of course as well. You might not want to go for too much arrest, thanks to the return, but still definitely should be able to just farm up and maybe Sukuchi the Centaur down to low HP. But we will see about that, as actually I do believe that maybe it was a small mistake for the Skyrift to actually start with the concussive shot, at least when the Wraith King was just so focused on stacking and pulling. Because usually the Skyrift Mage, it just goes for not even maxing out, but just Arcane Ball straight out up against Centaurs, because the return is so annoying. So just magic damage nukes, they don't care about return.
Yeah, that's true. Most people do tend to get the Arcane Bolt a little early on, and I'm reading in chat that I need to increase my mic volume. It's hard to hear me, apparently.
I have no
So
idea
it's
if you meant like Dota TV or what, because it should be just fine as far as the OBS levels as from IC. Nobody else has voiced concerns, so if it continues, you can still say it once again. If it's on Dota TV, or just specify, and we'll try to just make it happen.
Yeah, I guess we're on a 2-minute delay, so people will eventually find out. Regardless, though, there was an attempted smoking towards the mid lane, and actually the Tinker's going to spot the Skywrath. They're just kind of chilling there in the trees with each other, forcing out a march.
As Clown, he comes in as well. There's the Shackles. Will it actually be enough laser? He's level 2. I think this is going to be first blood.
Yeah, they got a lot of nukes there. The first blood going to the Tinker. That is the last thing that Maruchan wanted to happen here. This is not a good start, considering they wasted a smoke. Skywrath kind of was in no man's land for a while, and then he just got caught out by the Shadow Shaman. So, a nice little first blood. You know, as a Tinker, you get an advantage like this, man, and you're going to have a good time. And actually, he's going to snipe the Courier as well! Oh no, they're pausing it, but... Oh my gosh. That is so unfortunate.
Oh man, this is huge! I mean,
there's nothing on the Courier. The bottle isn't sniped, but still, like, losing a Courier, that is a lot of gold to the enemy team.
Yeah, and of course, Brewmaster, if he doesn't get room control now, he can't just use the Courier to bottle crow either, so... Now with this, the Tinker actually can just pull out so far ahead, getting first blood, getting the Courier snipe. Suddenly, things just went so good for NFT. I mean, it was rather even, everybody was just happily farming up. But man, this early lead 4 minutes in, Tinker just so much gold.
And on top of that, the ward at the Ancient Camp for the Radiant side, it's out of the picture now, so Tinker can start stacking up this camp. We will see Brewmaster pick up an invisibility rune. I don't think he'll be doing any ganking until level 6. Still only about halfway there. I'm still kind of waiting. I'm expecting more from Maruchan supports. They tried to do the smoking earlier, nothing really happened. But I want to see them do something, other than just stack up these creep camps and prevent Centaur from getting an optimal amount of farm.
Yeah, I just think it would be such a potent roaming duo, especially up against the Tinker. Should be such an easy kill, really. But so far, not happening. I mean, maybe I don't even know what the justification for it is. Like, oh, Skywrath Mage needs XP, but if you're both pulling, you're not getting as much. You usually want to solo pull or something like that. So a little bit weird the decision making so far. And on up center, he's fast enough, has the Tranquil Boots already, so. He's going to be just safe, but Primal Split mid lane, Maple, actually probably going to go down, but the Mist Coil, a Photic Shield as well. Oh, come on, can they kite him around long enough? I don't think so. I think the Tinker is going to fall eventually, or he's still actually running around the trees. Will it be enough? The Mist Coil?
Oh, the Boulder's going to connect on him, though. Oh! And the Cyclone actually puts him into the air. With Abaddon nearby, this Tinker's going to survive. She's got to get out of there, man. No, he's going to use the Thunderclap, and okay, I guess he actually gets the kill. I forgot that Brewmaster's pretty darn tanky in the early stages. He wanted to go for it. There was really not much else that the Abaddon can do, I suppose.
Yeah, there really wasn't. I mean, he did the best he possibly could. Mist Coil would have healed him up a little bit extra, but I don't think it would have made a huge difference. So, nicely done, Brewmaster, getting to level 6, using the Primal Split, just getting a kill, and suddenly he's already level 7, close to 8 even.
So, kind of restoring the balance in the middle lane. The Tinker got a kill on the Courier a little bit earlier, as well as the first blood onto the Skywrath. But, you know, Brewmaster's coming back. He's already almost up to level 8, as well as having pretty solid rune control. He'll pick up a regeneration rune as well. So, next time that Primal splits on off of cooldown, I do expect him to try to get a kill on someone, whether it be in the bottom, mid lane, or even top, if he wants to do a bit of a wraparound. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still not the end of the world for Tinker. He did have a pretty nice early start. And, you know, already has that soul ring, has the bottle, still will be working into his boots.
Yeah, one thing is that he actually hasn't even tried to stack up Ancients. He was like, yeah, they're blocked off early on, so didn't go for any more, but still, gonna farm up this jungle now. Should be a... is it a quad camp even? I think it's a quad camp of the big one.
Yeah, it is a quad camp indeed. 4 different types of creeps there. So that's going to be a lot of farm for Tinker. Meanwhile, top lane, the Abaddon has joined the Centaur top. buying a little bit of time. Maybe they're trying to turn things around in this Weaver, catch him a little bit off guard, but well, the shield will be shown, so they know Abaddon is in that top lane with the Centaur. Other support's still nearby. It looks like we could see some action happening in this top lane pretty soon. At the same time, Shadow Shaman, he's kind of positioned himself near the mid lane, so if possible, they will get a jump on this Brewmaster. His ultimate, though, off of cooldown, so I don't think they have enough to really take him down.
Yeah, and Tinker, he can't really even show himself too much. Especially this Brewmaster, he has his Blink already flying out 7.5 minutes in. I mean, farm-wise, 44 and 9. He's been doing such a great job getting up the solo kill as well. So actually with this Blink Tinker now, which is Blink Thunderclap Primal Split, will probably be enough to get the kill on Tinker.
That being said, though, Tinker has gotten a good amount of farm himself. I mean, all of the farmers for both teams are pretty darn close to each other, I'd say. Viper a little bit ahead of the curve, but not by a large margin. We'll see Brewmaster, like you said, Couchrees, has that Blink Dagger, and Abaddon and Centaur, they are playing this really darn safe. They know that if the Brewmaster comes in, then it's just going to be game over for a team fight or engagement.
Yeah, and they of course spotted out the movement with this Observer Ward here near the Ancients. But
I'm feeling a dive, top lane. They're going to throw out a few stuns. The Aphotic Shield helps out a little bit. There's your Primal Split. They're slowed down due to the Thunderclap. They get the Abaddon, and then a double kill onto the Centaur as well. Actually, no. Abaddon committed suicide. He used that Mistcoil to prevent the experience and gold going MC's way. But regardless of that, they will get the tower in the top lane from the look of things.
Yeah, that was really well executed by the Abaddon at least, getting the deny. Of course, it still stinks so much. You still give away 2 deaths, as well as now a tower. Skyref Mage gets the last hit for it. So maybe not the best of heroes, but at least can afford Arcane Boots soon enough. And the one thing is that the supports, they're still only level 4, although they've been constantly pulling and just trying to harass the Centaur. Of course, it's not like Abaddon and Shadow Shaman are higher, but just the support duo of Skyref Mage, Wraith King, I feel it's so deadly. I have no idea why they haven't gone for it. I guess the Brewmaster didn't really need too much help. Clockwork, about to hit level 6 now as well. So, at least Clockwork is doing somewhat better than the Centaur.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit better. I feel that's like to be expected, though. These supports have really stayed near that top lane of just applying a lot of passive pressure, even if, as long as they're still up in the jungle and the Centaur kind of knows it, then he has to stay out of that experience range a lot of the time. Meanwhile, bottom lane's been pretty darn quiet, I want to say. We have 10 last hits on the Clockwork. That's about it. Centaur's gotten a little bit more than him, but not by a large margin. I guess experience-wise, the Clockwork is ahead of Centaur, so he can start hooking in and contributing in these team fights. It looks like mid lane. This could be a potential target for the Clockwork as he's moving in here. And there he goes. He actually latches on. He gets the hook onto the Tinker. They'll throw out the March of the Machines, but here's an Invisible Brewmaster. That's going to be an easy kill onto the Clockwork. Just delaying his farm a little bit longer. He's still finished his Boots of Travel before that death, but it's still got to be annoying to deal with. And now we're seeing Maruchan. They're up 4-1 at 10.5 minutes into the game. Slowly starting to make a bit of an advantage for themselves, but if we look at the golden experience, it's still very close to even.
Yeah, it most certainly is, and of course, first blood and courier kill just giving so much. I mean, courier kill is almost like a tower already. Yes, when it's still walking, it doesn't give as much, but still a pretty hefty sum there. And the Abaddon, if he had actually arrived a little bit sooner, gotten the F40 shield on the Tinker as well before the death, Clockwork even would have gone down, I think, just with the F40 shield popping. But does survive. March of the Machines, though, just so damn annoying, and with the way this is going at the moment, we might be looking at a really, really long game since, of course, Tinker, he can turtle to oblivion.
I'm still waiting on the level 6s from both of the supports. You mean Ultimate from Wraith King, extremely good, and Skywrath, that extra burst damage from Mystic Flare, can really turn the tide fast. So, you know, I don't know, it could end up being a shorter game, I feel, if we just see Maruchan go straight aggro onto No Fear Dota and just try to take people down left and right and don't really give them a lot of room to farm or get levels or experience. So we still see Centaur. He's a little bit over 1,000 gold from getting his Blink Dagger, so pretty far behind on that. Clockwork's already got 2 assists under his belt, so despite not having a lot of gold, he is finding experience. He is doing pretty good in that, I guess, respective field. And now we'll see a 3-man smoke from the supports as well as the Brewmaster. And uh-oh, they're going to find the Shadow Shaman. He's just going to be dog food. Just destroyed within seconds.
And I just love that name, Ass Clown. It's like, who would name himself like that? But that was indeed like just 1 second and he was dead. Ancient Seal, Thunderclap, Rocket Flare as well flying from Clockwork, which actually has been maxed out. Usually you see Battery Assault being maxed, but of course he, with the Rocket Flare, could allow himself to get some far off mid lane. Primal Split, they threw Abaddon up in the air, the ultimate already popped as well, a 40 shield, not going to be enough. And now, can they go for Maple as well?
Yeah, the Tinker may actually have to be careful as well, but no, Centaur's going to join the fight as well. Brewmaster, he'll get out of there, but down to about half of a quarter health. This will be a kill. Centaur finishing him up with that double edge.
Wow, and the double edge was level 1 by the way. He's maxed out return. That is literally something I have never seen a Centaur do.
I can't say I've seen that either. Maybe it's because there was constantly 3 people in the lane and you figured, okay, well, if they're going to harass me, then I'll do what I can. Regardless, no fear Dota. They pick up a tower in the mid lane, so I believe a tower destroyed on both sides now, 1-1. But other than that, MC is still a little bit ahead as far as kills are concerned, but overall a very even game.
Yeah, and oh, actually Stylo might get got hoofed. Oh no, he time lapses out. Smartly done by the Weaver, and he's back to safety. But this Abaddon's Aphotic Shield looks pretty wicked. It's a little bit
cool.
Different than ordinary. Just has the purple ring to it.
No, it's that the Alliance set that gives that. So I guess if you're a fan of Alliance, you can buy their set and you'll get the cool bet-on cosmetics and such. And as I was talking about that, Shadow Shaman died in bottom lane. Looks like it wouldn't have lasted more than a second though, because Brewmaster and Clockwork just went in there. I guess made short work of them.
Yeah, this Brewmaster is getting that early ring from there on. He's been making so much happen. Literally so far, I think this Brewmaster has been kind of the MVP, keeping MC just ahead in kills and in the game. But now there's double blink that is picked up for the Centaur as well as the Tinker, so now they have the initiation power themselves. They of course have the mech to just sustain on the Viper, which is something that Maruchan doesn't have, and will they even have it at any point at all? I guess Clockwork can go for it as a chainmail and a Ring of Regen, but he's still quite a while away from it.
Yeah, I feel like he is kind of the best person to go ahead and pick up that mech. If not him, then I suppose Skywrath could pick it up. That's another hero that could carry it, but he's still pretty darn, I guess, squishy, and may be a little bit more beneficial on Clockwork, who will always get into the thick of things. That being said, though, top lane, I have Weaver, a few people coming in from No Fear Dota, and by a few I mean 4 members of the team. Blink forward, there's a Stomp as well, and Weaver, can they actually get him? No, they're going to use the Stampede to actually back out. And MC, they will pursue. Oh, Brewmaster, you tried to do a Thunderclap, will get locked into place with the Shackles. Okay, there's your Stomp. Primal Split as well. We'll see the DPS come out from MC. Can they finish off the Centaur Wall Runner? They're trying to focus him down. He's still alive though. The wards have gone down by the Shadow Shaman. He's still alive as well, being kept alive thanks to the idea about him. They're throwing him in the air now. They finally do get the Shaman with these wards, making short work of the Brewmasters. Primal Split will end. He has to bottle up, back up for a little bit. But overall, it's a 2-for-1 trade. And No Fear Dota actually getting a very solid trade. They may look to get the tower as well, but there are 3 members of MC still nearby looking to possibly contest this and save their tower. But man, I don't know if it's enough.
Yeah, I think this tower is going to go down, either to NFT or maybe even get denied. But Refer Blast into Mago, Viper. Yeah, the tower. Actually, no! The catapult, the siege creep.
Ouch. Oh, that was unfortunate. They should have denied that. Also, Skywrath, it felt like he could have ulted the Viper. And oh, can they get him? No. He teleports away just in time. No stuns available for him. Now they'll look to the Abaddon. His ultimate's off of cooldown, so we do have Burrow time available. And they will not pursue. It may be a little bit of a stretch if they wanted to continue that.
Yeah, and actually looking at the graphs now, the kill score is 5-8, so at least that's going in Maruchan's favor. But look at the gold graph, it's 2k and climbing a little bit for No Fear Dota, and XP also around 2000 for them. So it's actually looking pretty damn good. Stylo, of course, Stylo on the Weaver is just continuously farming up with that Hand of Midas of his. But still, no, not too close to that Linkens at all.
Yeah, actually a little bit surprising that NFD are so far ahead in gold. And this Weaver actually, he kind of has to be careful. Those three members nearby. Hisakuchi is away, going towards the middle lane for the time being. And it looks to be the smartest choice. And now Tinker's picked up his Blink Dagger.
Thunderclap, Ash Clown, Rocket Flare comes out. One right click from God, or G, to follow up. Oh man, this Shadow Shaman, Ash Clown, he just always gets it. Brewmaster always finds him.
I know, I mean, what do you do against the Brewmaster? You just, even your wards aren't enough to take him down, so...
Oh, Wraith King might be in trouble. Mid lane, may go. Will he go for the Viper Strike? No, he wants to reserve it. Actually, might still get the... Oh, yes, they have Upground Vision. Nicely done by this Observer Ward. The poison damage, it's gonna be enough. Reincarnation popped.
Yeah, they slow down the Viper, but actually Weaver, I'm not sure if it's a good decision for him to really attack him here. And realizing what's going on, he backs away. And now I'm wondering if the space that they're kind of creating in that mid lane, we'll see it used to MC's advantage by getting this bottom tower. But so far, it feels like they are just waiting. They're waiting for someone to teleport in so they can go in on them. This Clockwork, he's kind of acting as bait for the time being. And NFD aren't really taking the bait. They're all still just, you know, mid lane farming, I guess. Tinker popping around base to base. They can't really get him. They can try, but... Oh, wait, no, actually, they will be able to find him. Clockwork hooks in and gets him stuck inside the cogs. We'll see Centaur come in as well, but now, there we go. That's the Skywrath ultimate, used in conjunction with the cogs to get the kill on the Tinker. They bring him down, and unfortunately, Centaur, he's stuck in there as well. That's 2 dead. The Clockwork's dead, but he already did his work. Now it'll be 2 for 2, as they get the offlaner and the support for the offlaner and mid laner. Can they get anyone else? Brewmaster will finish off about him with the stomp, so overall looking a little bit better for Maruchan. They'll probably get the tower behind this as well.
Yeah, that was a good fight for them. They definitely, I think, thought that this gonna go better, but I think he already got down the march to the machines before the hookshot came. So that was a lot of counter damage, of course. Centaur coming in there as well. But at least Viper keeps on farming mid lane, only 300 gold shy of his Aghanim Scepter being finished. But Rasta, I'm not too sure if he TP'd in later or something, but he was just sitting in those trees here, watching Abaddon die and then slowly ran away. So this Shadow Shaman hasn't been able to accomplish too much so far. Mass Serpent Wards have been used in fights more than just for pushing, at least for the time being. But I do believe I saw some big item getting picked up. Maybe my eyes deceived me. Oh yeah, it was the Aghanim Scepter for Brewmaster now. Man, this Brewmaster is so farmed.
Yeah, he's 6-1 and 5 this game. Item progression is what I wanted to talk about. We see, of course, Brewmaster, he has a Scepter. Looking over at the Shadow Shaman, he's gone into the double brace build, realizing how weak he is and, you know, how badly he really needs to get some stats added to him, just so he can kind of survive a little bit longer. Clockwork's picked up a Staff of Wizardry, so a little bit of an identity crisis as far as items are concerned.
Ass Clown, yes, there's the Hex coming out. Shackles to follow, should be easy kill. Hoofstomp, double H.
Can they get him? No! He gets to use the time lapse and he'll Sakuchi away, but they're going to use the Stampede. Isn't enough. Cooldowns for a few more seconds from the War Runner, and they can't catch the Weaver in time, so at the end, well, actually, Viper's coming in now onto the Brewmaster, who uses Primal Split this fight. It's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. They'll go ahead, stun onto the Shadow Shaman. Will they actually take him out? That's the question. They're slowing down the War Runner as well. He's backing away. Out comes the ultimate from the Skywrath. They'll finish out the Shadow Shaman, trying to turn it around. Yes, they get him. It's a support for a support. Brewmaster's ultimate's out and down for the count now, but one more hit. No! He's able to keep Viper up for a little bit longer, but it's not enough. He will still fall, and it's looking to be a favorable trade for Maruchan as long as this Brewmaster can get away. Things are still happening though. Wraith King, a few, I guess another 50 seconds left on his ultimate, so he ends up falling thanks to the reinforcing Tinker. Very back and forth battle ending at 10-14.
That fight was just all over the place. I do believe some mistakes were made by both sides. I think the first mistake that just started most of the fight to begin with is the Weaver just getting away with the time lapse and running out. I think it was mostly due to the fault of the Centaur there, because the shackles were going. It was a level 2 shackles as well, so had a slightly longer duration as it is. But he went for the hoof stomp straight as the shackles started as well, so staggering their stuns. And, well, just time lapsed out just before the double H came. And even after that, when the Viper Strike was used on the Brewmaster, Shadow Shaman, he went for the Ether Shock first, other than just shackling him up. So the Primal Split came before the Hex came off cooldown, which was like 1 second too late or something. So maybe could have gone a whole different way, but NFT, no fear Dota, they're probably not too happy about it. I mean, Tinker, he still got some farm, got a kill to himself with the take-on of his. So as long as the Tinker is getting huge, they're probably happy with it.
They want to find the Stinker too. Look at everybody. They won't be able to find him in time as well. He just teleports away. Maybe we'll see a ward somewhere on the right side of the map, like on the high ground cliff. Oh, it looks like we have an invisible Brewmaster looking for a target. He may have actually been spotted. He did kind of body bop. Okay, he's going to go ahead and use the Thunderclap ultimate as well. And in comes the Clockwork. Nice hook, keeping him alive. But oh no, there's the Mystic Flare doing so much damage to this Viper. He's down to 34 health, gets healed up for a third time, but will finally go down. And can they get another one? They're moving after the Abaddon. He does have his ultimate available to him. It will be popped. Breaking now looking quite low on health, but he's got that Blink Dagger. He's got that Reincarnation level 2 as well. So not the best target to try to take down. We'll see NFD. They give chase. TP away from the Clockwork. Everybody else looking like they should escape. All just nice standing in sound. The Shadow Shaman, Ass Clown. Master of Asses himself. Can he make something happen? There's a lot of spell damage coming in onto the Brewmaster. And the Viper Strike isn't enough to finish the job. That with the Urn bringing him down to 47 health. He's a-okay, blinks away at the last possible second. They also, at the same time, they've gotten the Wraith King, forces cooldown on the ultimate Skywrath Mage. He won't be as lucky. We have another hook in from the Clockwork as well. He 4-steps out, realizing this is not the right place to be. Weaver trying to do a little bit of right-clicking damage. They'll find the Tinker. They get a stun on him. Can they finish him off? They'll use the Ghost Scepter to buy him a little bit more time, and he gets away. Meanwhile, this Viper just being as annoying as possible to try to keep his team alive, buy enough time and space and movement for everyone else to get away. Coucher, man, it's just another one of those team fights where it's all over the place, man.
Yeah, I do believe in the end, I think at least at NFT they came out ahead by 1 kill. And I just have to comment this Abaddon just keeping people alive for so damn long, making Maruchan just dive that little bit further, make just buying time for NFT's other heroes to arrive. Because really just Mist Coil, Aphotic Shield, this Viper, he should have been just straight out dead. But he almost even made it out. But now, Maruchan, they finally had the Lincoln Sphere on Stylo on the Weaver, so maybe that will allow him to just play that extra bit aggressively. But man, I guess we have to look at the graphs again. It is still a gold lead for NFT, of course. They're, I think, yeah, they're 1 tower ahead. The tier 2 mid has fallen. But 3,500 gold lead. XP though, only 500, so just up and down roller coaster.
Absolutely, a very back and forth game. It really could still go either way. We're seeing these teams consistently clash, and basically a different outcome, a different result in every skirmish. Weaver, not afraid to get a little bit more aggressive. Of course, you know, Lincoln Spirit's a good spell or good item if you want to do that kind of thing. Which, yeah, against NFD, you may want to, if you want to just move in there so you can get that last right click onto the Shadow Shaman. He still has under 1,000 health. And looking at everything else on the map, Wraith King has actually gotten some pretty good farm himself. With the 49 last hits, along with the Blink Dagger, he's probably moving into getting some drums at this point, or maybe something to build that chainmail into, whether it be... well, actually, I guess it's going to be Blade Mail now that I look at the item pickup.
Yeah, I guess Tinker, of course, Blade Mail is just an excellent item. Clockwork, working towards his own as well. First he went for a 4-staff, now Blade Mail being worked on, I guess. But still, they do like that mech. I thought the Clockwork may be going for it, having the Chainmail and the Ring of Regen, but Ring of Regen into the 4-staff, now Chainmail probably into the Blade Mail. And every time I see a game without a mech on a team, it just gets so hard if it gets past a certain point. Although, of course, the mech, its effectiveness diminishes anyway as time goes on. But just having the early mech, the heals, I mean, Urn of Shadows is there on Abaddon as well, which is, I think, also an item that Maruchan are lacking, yes indeed. So even if they fight, they just don't have the sustain to maybe properly push after that, even if they should win one.
MC really just trying to focus on getting the jump as well as speaking of jump, they're going to find poor Ass Clown once again.
Oh,
I gotta feel for him. I have to feel for Shadow Shaman. He's 1 in 6 this game. I think every single death has been the Brewmasters blinking on him and making his life a living hell. So with 1 member down, he does have buyback. We probably won't see it too much happen there. Well, hold on a second. Centauri blinks in. Gets the stomp as well. Clockwork will lock him into place. Can we see an ultimate? No, a nice 4-step out of there from the Centaur. He says, you know what? I'm not going to be in there. Sorry, man. It ain't happening. We'll have the Viper Strike onto the Clockwork. They're trying to take him down. He's 4-stepped away. There comes the Primal Split. They're trying the DPS down. The Centaur, he's very low on health. Where's the Abaddon? Can he get there in time? No. There will be no Abaddon to help save the Centaur. So, well, he actually ends up buying back. We'll have the reincarnation from the Wraith King. Blinks away for the time being. Viper slowed up. Abaddon in the air. And Brewmaster, way low on health. They do manage to finish him off. It looks like MC, everybody else, they back away. They don't want to deal with that fight. Not with the buyback. Not with this Shadow Shaman coming back in to help out after the death from a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and actually, Brewmaster, he threw the Abaddon up in the air. Maybe it would have been enough to just save the Centaur there. But Centaur buyback, I guess they get the kill on the Brewmaster, so it wasn't completely wasted. But oh, me, they blink in aggressively. Clockwork goes down, Dagon up, and Stylo shouldn't be getting the solo kill on Tinker. Actually, might even fall down if he's not careful here. No.
Yeah, with Viper on the high ground, it's looking scary. Skywrath could change things around, but no. They play it safe, they back it up.
Yeah, the Tinker's Dagon is level 3 already, so the burst damage is becoming pretty damn real. And of course, he even has himself a Ghost Scepter just to prevent, for example, the Weaver of outputting any damage at all. And the Clockwork, I mean, the hookshot wasn't cooldown for the last fight because they used it to kill Ass Clown. But otherwise, just... we haven't seen a single hook into the Tinker apart from that one on the bottom lane at the tier 1.
Yeah, unfortunately not. I'd like to see a few more. But the Tinker, he is still, regardless, a very elusive hero and a hard one to deal with. I suppose at least the Wraith King picking up that Blade Mail will annoy this Tinker and kind of, if he can get into the thick of things where the March of the Machines are before he's had a chance to, I guess, blink for a second time, it can be annoying to deal with. So overall, I do like the item pickup based on what the enemies have this game, especially if there's like a Viper Strike on him as well or something. Just more DPS being redistributed to the enemy team.
Yeah, the Blade Mail is really smart pickup, especially if you should be able to activate it just as the Dagon comes. Tinker can definitely just blow him up himself up completely. But Shadow Shaman, he finally has his Blink Dagger, so just extra initiation for them. Mid lane, 4-stepped up by Abaddon. Did he really just want to break the Lincolns? Maybe?
Quite possibly. Just kind of scare him away. Remind him that, hey, this is Abaddon's lane and this is Viper's lane. You need to get out of here. Looking at Abaddon's item progression, he has picked up the Aghanim Scepter, saved up about 1,800 gold, so can move into another item shortly. Weaver continuing to just poke and prod at the mid lane, but I don't think Viper's the one he wants to try to focus and slow down and slowly pick away piece by piece. We do have a 4-man, smoke coming in from Maruchan as well towards the mid lane. Can they find someone? That will be the question. Everyone does seem to be in a decently solid position, except for maybe this Viper, who could end up out of position if he isn't careful. No, they move towards the bottom lane now. They're going to spot the Centaur. He uses the Stampede ultimate. In comes, well, a teleporting here. It's actually hard to see under everything, but it was the Viper. He gets just blown up thanks to that ultimate from the Skywrath Mage. And now, Pandas with the Primal Split. They're throwing up this Tinker in the air. Go back away for the time being. Hook in from the Clockwork onto an allied unit. Or something, and it doesn't really accomplish too much. They get the Tinker now. Reincarnation from the Wraith King. Can they finish off the Centaur? That's the question. He's low on health. They say no, just not quite enough. Tinker falls. 1-for-1 still. Couldn't turn into a 1-for-2. Wraith King. Oh, he tried to teleport away, but just did not get away in time. And all of a sudden, 3 are dead on MC compared to the 2 of NFO. Can they get Skywrath as well? Yes, they're going to get him.
Yeah, Weaver, at least he makes it out, but I think it was a 4-4-4 in the end, or 3-4-4 at least. As Stylo, yes, he gets the TP out. But Viper, he bought back for this. He actually also bought back for the bottom tier 1 fight, which was, I guess, at least 6 minutes ago. But yeah, I mean, this Viper buyback definitely just paying off huge for them. Getting 4 kills. And MC, maybe they just should have been happy with going for the tier 2 instead of just diving this hard.
Yeah, the diving's not working for them. If we look at the gold and experience graphs, it is slowly but surely heading more and more into No Fear Dota's favor. The numbers are still under like 5,000, which is pretty darn impressive considering It's 32 minutes into the match, but at the end of the day, it is 19-21 with Maruchan leading, so still a very close game between both of the teams.
Yeah, and actually now he starts becoming a huge threat as well. Desolator picked up. So the minus armor, it just boosts up the damage by so much. And actually the last fight, I mean, I have even no idea why the Viper TP'd in as aggressively as he did. Just completely got blown up. Although, the Clockwork Cogs actually pulled him out of the range. Oh, Arf gets the force staff. Can he actually escape Stampede as well? Oh, he needs... Oh, the hook shot.
He tried to make it happen, just slightly off the mark. Centaur will teleport away the safety, but they're putting some pings onto the bat, and they find him, and there's probably no escape for this hero. They will have to force the ultimate, but then they can just keep chasing him, and eventually they'll take him down. But, well, the Tinker will come in, as well as the Viper to kind of help out, buy a little bit of time. Sheep as well onto this Brewmaster that has the haste and running all around. Meanwhile, Clockwork, he got the Viper stuck inside the cogs. Looks like him, along with the Skywrath Mage, were able to finish him off. Maybe even Weaver helping out a little bit. And all of a sudden, 4 members of No Fear Dota are down. The 5th one could happen next. We know a very fast and smart blink from the Centaur. Will they pursue him? I don't think it would be the best decision. Just get that tier 1 tower, get those extra little wards there, maybe even go after the tier 2 or Roshan. You guys won the team fight. You don't need to do anything, I guess, beyond taking objectives at this point.
Yeah, this time around they didn't lose a single hero as well, and of course the fight started so bad for NFT as it is. Abaddon, usually the hero just keeps everybody else alive. He got taken out first, so couldn't really heal, couldn't do anything at all, no urns, no force staffs to save other people. And now on top of this Maruchan, they're gonna get Aegis as well. So they just had a huge swing, I think. I do believe the Goldcraft is probably just zeroed out, if not in Maruchan's favor now. It hasn't updated properly yet. Well, I guess it's maybe not that huge with Roshan going down as well. 1k extra. Oh, hookshot! They catch another hero!
Uh-oh. Well, unfortunately, the hero they catch has a force staff, so Centaur will make it out of these cogs alive. And, I mean, I think this is maybe one of the reasons why we don't see Clockwork nearly as much anymore. People want, like, guaranteed lockdown, and the cogs do kind of provide it, but if anyone has a force staff, it basically completely counters the cog ability from Clockwork, and you can use it both offensively and defensively. So, unfortunate for the Clockwork that everyone has force staffs these days, but it is part of Dota.
Indeed it is, and I mean, look at the graphs. Gold is almost zeroed out, so wasn't entirely wrong there. And XP just complete 7k swing from 4k in NFT's favor, starting at 3k for Maruchan. If they just continue going at this pace, just keep getting kills like that, the Tinker, he needs to play it maybe a little bit safer, just spam all of his spells just from the trees and go back home, reaching up, do it again or something, because at the moment he's just kind of getting caught in the middle of it as well, and his Ghost Scepter really isn't enough to just get him out of trouble.
Yeah, unfortunately not. There's still a lot of magic damage around the map. There was a ward kind of on the side of the map over at the top left. But that is unfortunately gone, I suppose. So no more wards spotting or helping keep an eye out for enemies as far as the Stinker is concerned. They are going to de-ward up here, though, near the Roshan pit. So just kind of removing the map control slowly but surely from No Fear Dota.
Yeah, and whoa, Clockwork went for a hook shot into the Skywrath Mage. I have no idea for what reason. But, okay, hook shot on cooldown. But what do you actually think Stylo is gonna go for next? I mean, okay, I guess BKB is the answer for him. Weaver, BKB, Lincolns, and a Desolator. And an Aegis as well, and that guy should be unkillable.
Yeah, I would hope that the Weaver gets a Blacking Bar, just due to the sheer amount of spells coming out from No Fear Dota. Clockwork is working into that Aghanim Scepter. He's already picked up the Point Booster as well as an Ogre Club. Beyond that, I'm not sure if he needs 1 or 2 more of the items. It looks like he needs both the Blade of the Clarity and the Wizard Staff, so a bit of a ways away from that Aghanim Scepter, but it will eventually come his way.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, the Tinker, yes, he's farmed, but nobody else on his team really just doesn't catch up too well. Viper, I guess, to some extent, but this Viper, the last 2 fights, he's just been completely taken out. Coaxed into Mystic Flare and easy death on him. So I don't know what NFT actually exactly has to do. They maybe should be the ones trying to initiate or something. I'm not even too sure. Because if MC they just get the initiation, they just kind of blow the team fight apart, and NFD just gets spread in. But blink in, the stun, never mind. I thought you should just remove the stun immediately.
Oh, well, what they'll do is what Tinker does best, and that's just delay and stall time. You know, mass march of the machines at the tier 2 tower, and force the enemy team back, make them think to themselves, okay, now there's people pushing other lanes, now maybe we can farm our jungle. But no, that's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, smoke man, 420, let's go down mid lane, let's find someone that's just a little bit too out of position, and let's nab them. And ooh, could it be the Centaur? He blinks away, just as the blinks come in from MC, so very fast reactions from both teams.
Yeah, really nicely done by the Centaur. I was almost positive that it's gonna go down there, but didn't happen. Thank God, at least that the Clockwork didn't try to hookshot him, because the Brave King actually blinked just in the line for the Centaur. But tier 2 will be traded for tier 2. Mass Serpent was used on the top lane, Weaver just takes care of the mid one. So at least it was still a trade for NFT.
Yeah, indeed, not a bad trade whatsoever for No Fear Dota. I would be happy with that if I was them. So beyond that, Roshan, still a while before he respawns, a good amount of time, so... No cheese quite yet, ladies and gentlemen, but one day we will have the cheese. And looking in kind of the mid lane, the allied jungle, nothing too much going on there either. The heroes, they were kind of fighting for a little bit and then just backed off.
Well, this game feels like it's kind of slowed down because nobody's finding pickoffs, and of course both teams are playing it rather safe as well. If they're going anywhere dangerous, they group up, but top lane, they get the blink Hex, Shackles to follow up on the Skyrift Mage, Viper strike up, and well, this should be an easy kill, and indeed it is. So just as I say that, we see a easy solo kill, or not a solo kill, but a single kill.
Oh man, and top lane, we'll see Viper, he wants to teleport away, but gets stuck inside the cogs. It's only a matter of time before he goes down. Tried to take Clockwork with him, but it's not happening.
He actually sped up his own demise there, because he used the Viper Strike, Clockwork immediately activated Blade Mail, so Viper just took even more damage from there, but Viper can't really just afford to death at the moment. He wants to get the BKB as soon as possible, just to make sure that the Mystic Flare doesn't completely wreck him in the team fight. But now Clockwork has his own Aghanim Scepter, so the hookshot is just gonna be off cooldown so often. But oh, Blink Hex kinda gets style of Shackles, where are they? Yes, they finally come out. But now, do they have enough stuns to actually stop him from getting away?
That's the question. No, he uses the Blacking Bar Weaver. He actually finishes off the tower. Sakuchi's away. Will he get the courier? He gets the courier as well. What a ridiculous play from this Weaver. Now he'll time-lapse back, and from the look of things, he gets away with murder.
Yeah, and do you want to know what was on the courier? It was the Eagle Song, the shotgun for Tinker.
Oh, that is brutal. That is really unfortunate. Well, the Weaver can still mass spam March of the Machines, I suppose. Instead of just, you know, one-shotting or two-shotting people.
Oh man, Weaver, just really well played. And I guess that's exactly what you can do when you have a BKB, Linkens, and an Aegis as well. There was almost no chance at all anyway that he's gonna go down the second time with no Hex being up.
Brave King blinks in, and is just starting to crit away at the Shadow Shaman. Is there enough to finish him off? Brewmaster does have an invisibility room, but will not blink forward. He is kind of lacking in the mana department as well, so... Okay, he has almost enough for the Thunderclap and a Primal Split combo, which is what I assume he wants to be able to get off in these fights.
Yeah, and now, just looking at the graphs again, suddenly 5k gold lead for Maruchan, 7,500 XP as well. They're just, once they got the lead, they have been just gradually been increasing it. And they want the last tier 2 as well, which is of course this top tier 2.
Yeah, I feel like it's not the worst time to take it. I think they can really go for it. We have Purple all the way over on the other side, just kind of farming random lanes. He will be forced to come home and kind of defend his tier 3 along with all of the other people from NFD. I don't know, are we going to see them try to go up high ground soon?
Well, they might. Of course, I don't feel like they have to press the issue too much. Just try to whittle it down, maybe get a few pickoffs once again. They do have the blinks and just the abilities necessary to do so. Maybe even wait for next Roche. We'll find out in about 20 seconds when it's going to respawn, so... If it's a short respawn timer, then Maruchan, they're extremely happy about it, and Stylo, just... He has a Demon Edge as well. Do you think it's going to be like Monkey King Bar, Daedalus, or... Rapier.
Rapier, I'm not sure about that one. I think it's probably just Monkey King Bar.
Holy crap, what a short respawn. And Roshan is up.
Alright, cool. We got the rush, and as long as Maruchan know about the Roshan, they'll probably just go in there and take it. They're already kind of positioned somewhat near there, and No Fear Dota don't know exactly when Roshan is respawning.
Well, at least Viper has BKB now, so that's something good, but the Daedalus will also be finished on Stylos Weaver. Already has the Crystallis in the stash as well, it's just waiting for the Daedalus recipe itself. They're gonna go for Roche now, they spotted it out. Of course Weaver, he wouldn't want to tank it up Brewmaster. Yeah, he comes in to help, double damage there. Does he have a Shiva's card finished? Yes, just got it. So Shiva's on Brewmaster, Weaver gonna get the Daedalus of his. And finally Tinker got his shotgun now that the courier respawned. But this Aegis, I think it actually just might purely be enough for Maruchan to go just get one set of frags if not more.
I wouldn't be surprised. They got the Aegis, they got the, I believe, cheese as well, or somebody got it.
I think it was the second Roche actually still.
Oh, really? I thought it was the third already. Okay, never mind. I felt a little weird that I didn't see the cheese there.
Well, Abaddon does finally invest some money into HM as well, so they will actually have proper vision of the Weaver, given that the HM carrier is close enough. But as Clown, oh, he has to be, well, he goes for the TP out. Whew.
Almost could have been a repeat of what's constantly happened throughout the, I guess, the rest of the game. Ascalon just gets caught out of position a little bit too far by the Brewmaster and just slams him down a new one.
Oh man. Yeah.
I'm looking at the positioning here from Maruchan. I feel like they really do want to push to the high ground, but this Tinker's constantly pushing out these other lanes, or even the Viper in the top lane's kind of doing the same thing as well, and it's making them think to themselves, okay, well, we still have to kind of worry a little bit about our other lanes being pushed out too much. That being said, though, they do kind of have bottom lane pushed out a lot more. It really is just top lane that needed some help.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to play against the Tinker. A little bit similar to what it would be up against the Nature Prophet. You can just push out the lanes all the time. Mid lane though, Weaver's just hanging around. They have the Blink Hex if they can pop the Lincoln somehow first. But now Weaver's just gonna farm the enemy agents instead.
Yeah, why not? He can get away with it. He has the DPS. Also picked up his Daedalus. Jesus. That is a lot of damage, so it won't be the Monkey King Bar, just straight up Daedalus. He wants some crit as well. I'm okay with that interest, I think it's just fine. Top lane though, actually some action onto the Clockwork. He throws down the Clogs, tries to hook away, but he doesn't get it in time. Meanwhile, Maple X3 just tears a new one to this Clockwork, hitting him with the nukes left and right. He'll try to go after the Weaver as well, but Weaver activates the BKB, and just 2 crits, and Shadow Shaman's dead. He literally 2-shotted that poor hero. Now trying to turn it around. They'll get the Clockwork, and the Wraith King, he's doing pretty solid as well. They force away. No, the TP, it doesn't even force him away, just straight up kills Viper. The Mystic Flare as well helps out onto the Centaur, and just like that, MC, they've taken complete control of this game. They'll probably even get the Abaddon as well. Just a few more seconds on the borrowed time, and it's gone. We'll see MC get another kill here, and that's a team wipe. 5-4-4, or 5-4-1, excuse me.
Yeah, and they get the gem as well away from an NFT, which just got bought like, what, 1-2 minutes ago? And look at the Wraith King overall. His net worth is actually higher of that of the Viper. He has a Heaven's Albert, Basher, Blade Mail, Blink, and Power Threads now 2k on top of that as well. I mean, this Wraith King support one definitely transitioned into a semi-carry of sorts, and just really well played overall. And I think MC, they have this game in the bag now. There's no buybacks on anybody on NFT yet. This is gonna be one set of frags, if not more. Although Weaver, well, he's there dishing out the damage, but against backdoor protection. Oh wow! And there's even a pipe on Skyrock Mage Man.
Yeah, wow, you don't see that every day. But I suppose a very smart pickup choice to get the pipe. The tier 3 towers and the barracks in the top lane, they're out of here. Their history. We probably won't see Maruchan go for a second pair simply because everyone's coming back on No Fear Dota. In fact, they're already trying to go to town on this Wraith King. And a lot of DPS coming on him. They're going to force out the ultimate. What can this Weaver do, though? That's the real question. We'll have Shiva's from the Brewmaster as well, just kind of getting into the thick of things. He gets the Primal Split up as well before he can die. But can he finish off the Shadow Shaman? Yes, he can. The poor Shadow Shaman, every single time the Brewmaster gets him. They force out the Aegis as well on this Weaver. He's back in action, full health, full mana, and just backs away for the time being. I think that's not no fear. Dota Maruchan, they still just want to get the towers. That being said, though, Clockwork, he jumps right in onto a lot of these other heroes like the Viper and the Shadow Shaman. Doesn't get the kill before he dies, but does a lot of damage overall. It's just weak heroes across the board for no fear, but there's not enough for MC to finish them off.
I think MC dove a little bit too hard, maybe. We're a little bit too eager to go for it. Time lapse coming out from Weaver as well. Of course, nobody's there to actually catch him up. But NFT, they hang on. Only losing one set of frags, not the end of the world, especially if you have a Tinker. I really feel like Maruchan, they could have gotten at least a secondary set of frags as well if they just played it kind of safe.
Well, based on their tower being at 107 health, I have no choice but to agree with you, Couchshore. Yeah, they're a little bit more conservative. Got another right click or two on that tower, it would have been gone.
But NFT, I still think that it's going to be extremely hard for them to come back, especially now that the Weaver picks himself up a finished Heart of the Rest straight up. 3k HP, BKB Linken's Desolator, as well as Daedalus, hitting for 325 damage plus the crits. So he's kind of a raid boss by now.
Yeah, and the problem is even this Viper, as far as kills and deaths are concerned, he's had a lot more deaths than the heroes from the opposite side. 8 and 2 for the Weaver, 9 and 3 for the Brewmaster. They've gotten a lot of kills. They're balling. Oh, we're gonna have another engagement though. Tinker throwing out the nukes. Can they actually get the Weaver? That's the real question. He's not able to time lapse out in time. Maybe they can get the Brewmaster though. You know, Yas's Agnum Scepter as well as the Black King Bar. So just going to town on these people. Throws a baton into the air. They'll get the kill onto the Shadow Shaman. And now trying to focus down this Tinker. Can the Brewmasters do it? They're so low on health, and now, oh, they may actually even lose the last one. Now it's going to be close. No, it looks like Brewmaster will narrowly survive for the time being. But as I say that, he ends up falling to the combined might of No Fear Dota.
I mean, that was actually a single Brewmaster Primal Split, creating so much trouble for NFT. I mean, the Weaver, yes, they used a pretty decent amount of spells on the Weaver, of course, but I was definitely not expecting the Brewmaster Brewlings to just provide so much resistance 49 minutes into the game. Usually this late the Brewlings just die to physical damage straight out, but the NFT, they are kind of lacking in that department. Viper, of course, not the traditional right click carry by any means, and of course Weaver, I mean, I was just talking about that is like unkillable or raid boss or whatever, but if NFT, they just grouped up, and with all 5 heroes, they were able to still bring him down, shackle him up. But if it was a 5v5, I still think Maruchan would have just wiped the 4 with them, especially since card sharp, he has himself an Abyssal Blade. Man, Brave King support Abyssal Blade.
I think we can't really call him support anymore if he's picked up an Abyssal Blade. Even if he was supporting throughout the beginning of the game. That item plus the Heaven's Halberd. I don't know, man. It's looking like a lot of items there that are pretty good against certain heroes.
Yeah, actually, he's hitting for almost the same damage as the Weaver is. Just doesn't have the crit to it. But of course, he has the built-in crit anyway, which is actually even higher than that of the Daedalus. So, yeah, in theory, Brave King can hit harder than the Weaver.
In theory, but probably won't be seeing most of that too often due to the fact that Weaver's always like Sakuching in and out, so he'll use the Germinate attack to really get in a lot of his damage. That's kind of what he's focusing on. Meanwhile, the Skyrath has picked up a casual vitality booster. I do imagine that will be built into a Rod of Atos from the look of things, and the Wraith King was spotted by Centaur. They both kind of wave at each other and then back off, realizing that this fight's probably not going to go well for them.
Yeah, and Roshan is up once again. They're really getting the short response timers, aren't they? And this time around, it is gonna be cheese. The patches come out from the Brave King, Stylock comes in with that Weaver, with the Desolator minus armor, and now Clockwork, even he has a BKB, so this Tinker just probably won't nearly be enough.
Yeah, well, with Roshan going down, Do we get cheese? Yes, we have cheese this time. Hooray! The cheese goes to Clockwork. Once again, Weaver will pick up the Aegis. And now, I have a feeling we may see that push to the tier 3 coming out from Maruchan. That feels like the next logical step.
Yeah, it's... Well, NFT, can they hang on? Do they fight outside the base or will they just wait for on the high ground?
Nah, man, I'd want to fight on the high ground, but yeah, if I have martial machines and wards, I want to fight on my territory and under my rules. But as I say that, we have an excellent hook in from the Clockwork, and then he 4 steps out of there. They also get the Viper out of there. So just a lot of Molotovs being piled up, thrown out from multiple sides. They get the tier 3 tower, now focusing onto the ranged barracks. They should get this pretty fast, even without really attacking anyone, just kind of ignoring people for the most part. But they do get a Viper Strike onto the Tinker. Will it be enough, though? That's the question. He's stuck inside the cogs once again. Viper, can he survive long enough? No, he cannot survive long enough. But the wards, they're in there inside the cogs, helping out a little bit. They do get the Tinker. Buybacks from him, buybacks from the Viper as well. It's just buyback city here, coming out from NFO. And they also do pop the Aegis. Wraith King trying to do a little bit of damage. But I think the tower, that seems to be the primary focus. Another hook in, locking one of the bears in as well. Abaddon, meanwhile, is in the air. So this Earth Spirit really just doing a ridiculous amount of work. Weaver, can he escape? So on health, no. He has to burn that Aegis. But I suppose, better now than ever.
Yeah,
and we'll see the Stampede ultimate used. Again, I think that... Oh, they're going to try to turn it around. I don't think they can kill anyone, though.
Yeah, and well, that's the secondary set of racks going down. Maruchan, of course, they had the Aegis and the cheese as well. Clockwork, he actually almost died before using the cheese early on. But nope, survived. They got, I think, 2 buybacks, or was it more? Nope. Yeah, actually 3 buybacks out. Shadow Shaman also bought back, in addition to the Tinker and the Viper. So Maruchan, did they really actually only lose that 1 hero, man? This is so sick. Of course, cheese and Aegis, I guess they lost 3 heroes in some sense. But this must be GG by now. I mean, 3rd set of racks. I don't think Maruchan actually has to wait for too long. They can just probably push out the lane and go straight in without any delays at all.
Yeah, I suppose they just want to make sure they have Clockwork nearby so we can initiate on the enemy team. That is basically what he did last time, and it worked really darn good. Everyone was kind of panicking, focusing on getting someone out of the cogs so they don't get hit by the Mystic Flare and the battery assault from Clockwork. It just it worked out very well together. So now we'll see a teleport from G to the bottom lane. Clockwork's back in about 5 seconds, so he'll be on his way soon. And then this could be it, man. It could be the final engagement on this high ground for game number 1.
Yes, indeed. My Tinker's still down for another 14 seconds as well. Of course, he's gonna respawn soon enough, I think. But the creep wave, it's huge! Huge creep wave. Lots of farm. I think it was like a quadruple creep wave at least. But they're waiting for the Clockwork indeed. They just want to play it safe, want to go for the finishing move here.
That's right. All they have to do is execute this properly, and well, Maruchan should win. They've already proved that when it comes to these micro wars, they do seem to be a bit higher level-wise and skill-wise than No Fear. But that is inconclusive. It's just based on what I've seen, basically. So now we'll have ASF just kind of chilling out. Oh, Weaver. You see Brewmaster goes in Thunderclops, and then he walks away. Both teams, they're kind of throwing out their zoning spells, but they haven't really committed to a true attack yet.
Yeah, of course, Maruchan, the waiting is definitely in their favor because other lanes are pushing. But oh, Clockwork goes in deep, catches 2 heroes. Well, can they get the Tinker? If they can, this boy gonna be GG. His buyback is already on cooldown, and yes, they will get the kill. Lice gonna lose his life maybe in return as Mega Viper. PKB activated, still the physical damage too much, even from that Brave King of theirs. And now M3, can he escape? Or yes, he can. Stunned up by the Boulder Toss, some right clicks, Abyssal bladed up. And this is 4 heroes down, only for a Clockwork, and probably Abaddon as well.
Yeah, Abaddon looks like he'll fall down as well. The GG called out by Mago. And I have to say, it was a very even game throughout most of the series. It actually lasted 56 minutes, a lot longer than I anticipated. I suppose, Coucher, you are correct. We were in for a long game, but at the end of the day, 28-44, with Maruchan winning over No Fear Dota. And this best of 2 lasted 56 minutes, 30 seconds exactly total.
Yes, really long game, and like you said, it was pretty damn even for the majority of it, but from some point onwards, Maruchan, they just hit their stride, got the necessary items for themselves, just tanked it up in the front lines, and we are, of course, starting to dish out the damage from the Desolator onwards. But guys, this is only game number 1 in a 2-game series, so no fear Dota, they definitely have a chance to just redeem themselves, come back in game number 2, and just with a clear mindset. So that's exactly where we're heading as well, into the lobby of game number 2. So if you liked us, be sure to follow us. All the links where you can find us are below the stream anyway. And if you liked me personally, it's at Coucher on Twitter, and for my co-caster at Whiplash on Twitter and Whiplash Esports on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct. That is it. Yeah, it was good, man. You got it all correct.
Yes, so guys, see you in game number 2.